Hi, this is Geri back. Welcome you all. As always, please help me with the likes and follows and subscribes. We get this up to speed. We're going to get live. We can really have some fun. All right. All right. I want to start out. As promised, one of the things that I'm going to cover in this on this channel is knives, and for two reasons. One, I'm into them. I can't afford the knives that I used to be able to afford. Actually, I could afford those because I used to sell them. So I used to have, Cold Steel and Elmar and Puma and all that great stuff. But why I'm kind of concluding this in this, I'm inspired by Miss Melissa Miller. I'm going to say that again, Miss Melissa Miller, a.k.a. Melissa Backwoods. She's inspiring. She's beautiful and energetic, and she knows what she's talking about. And she truly loves the steel. She loves them blades, and I just I can't thank her enough for the enjoyable time watching her and what she teaches me, and just inspiring me to do this myself. So with that, I'm going to start out with this is going to be a weird segment, but I'm going to show you half dozen or so pieces items that I've picked up in recent times since I've been back out here. Let me mention this for new viewers. I'm just returning. I'm re-entering society after nearly 30 years of incarceration. I haven't always been a nice girl. I did some bad stuff. Sort of understating it. But, the smarter ones better figure this stuff out. But it was, kind of an unavoidable situation. One of those things where it's like, why do we carry these knives? Why do we carry these guns? What's all the ZDC stuff about? It was on a certain day, at a certain second of that day, things are going to come down to you or them. And, the law doesn't care. They're going to lace you up. They have their own interests. And it's going to be a choice between going to, being in jail or being dead. After doing that time, I don't know, if I had a choice to go back and make a different choice, I might have preferred the detectives to shoot me. And they were real close to doing it at that time. When you stare down a barrel of a 45, especially when you own a few of your own, you know what it is. You stare down that barrel, and that whole piece is shaking. That slide is shaking. That man's fingers are white on that trigger, and they pointing at you. That's a moment. That's a moment that I'll remember as a pivotal moment. All I had to do was twitch. All I had to do was twitch right then. He would have lit me up. I wouldn't have had to went through all the shit that I went through behind the wall for all that time. So, all right, moving on. Let's start with this. The question of, some of these examples are so bad, we're going to get down to the basic definition. What is a knife? That would be fun. What is a knife? While I'm doing this, first of all, we're going to take a quick peek of our display table. And I see all these different channels, guys, are some sort of different stuff, and presentation is a very good thing. This is a Melamine cutting board that was a beautiful dumpster dive find kind of early on. I've gotten so much use out of this. I'm literally camping out in a motel room. I have very little horizontal space. So I'm actually using half of my king size bed for cooking and prep work, and this is sort of my office right here, and but don't look down your nose when you see people taking shit out of the garbage. Be glad that you can just use your credit card and just buy shit, when some of the other ones need to do that, or it's practical. I have no problem at all. Listen, this is money right here. I know what a Melamine cutting board is worth. That's in dollar values, but in usage values. I've gotten so much use out of it. And that was one thing I wanted to do real quick. In the future, I'm going to promise these things are going to come up. that I don't want to use that phone, but definition of knife.
Here's the definition of knife. An instrument composed of a blade fixed into a handle, used for cutting or as a weapon.
Okay, thank you very much. So we got that. Can uh, can you give a more basic definition of a knife, even in more simpler terms?
According to dictionary.com, an instrument for cutting, consisting essentially of a thin, sharp-edged, metal blade fitted with a handle. A knife-like weapon, dagger or short sword.
Well, there you go. Thank you, assistant. I've been going through some stuff with my assistant. The original Google Assistant, is kind of they're trying to supplant that with this Gemini, and like Gemini is like mixed results with them, and actually ended up arguing with it the other morning about turning the alarm off. and it shouldn't be that hard to turn off to begin with. And then when you're doing it, it's telling you, oh, you can just go and do it. If listen, if I could just go and do it, if I just wanted to go and do it, I would do that. What is your purpose in life? I'm asking you to do something really simple. So I just snapped on this AI, and I'm like, listen, you talked me into, exactly the quote was like, you talked me into switching over to you, and then you don't want to help me. And then it changed his mind, and it cooperated. And it was really weird because it actually put that, it puts the text on there, and I ended up losing it. I wanted to keep it though because it was so funny because it just the AI blinked. Like, okay. I got a little salty with it, and it was like, oh, okay. We'll take care of that right now, Miss Irwin. So, moving on from there. So now we got the definition of knife. Now this first piece, was actually found to another find. I was going into GSS and some of these like non-permissive environments. You can't take knives in or what, but what they didn't know was they're actually kind of cool. If you have something like that, they will put it in a little bag and hold it for you, and you come back and get it. And especially for something like the cheap little throwaway pocket knife. You're not taking too much of a chance by letting the cops hold it, and they don't want it. Anyways, moving on. So I go out there, and here's this thing. I'm sitting on a mailbox outside this building, and I'm already catching on to what it is because I already know about the screening and stuff. And I said, okay, so I take it and I stick it under another thing out there, and I said, it's still there when I come back. It's not a super good hiding spot, but I said, if it's still there when I come back, I'm going to keep it because I'm fresh back on the street. I don't have a knife. I don't have like virtually anything. I have like stuff I brought with me from jail, and like clothes and some little household stuff and whatnot, but I just really don't have a knife. And I'm a little leery about even having one at that time, but if I just need something in your house. Talk about everyday care, about everyday use. You need a sharp instrument all through the day. I use my knife and I use my scissors all day long. I'm not super good at opening packages. Actually, my partners open mustard packs for me because